The case of Lilly and Jack Sullivan has haunted Nova Scotia for months. But now, investigators say the search may finally be narrowing in on the truth. 3 months, 2 missing children, no arrests, no confirmed sightings, just fear, frustration, and silence. Until now, RCMP sources quietly revealed they are pursuing what they call the final set of actionable leads, a phrase they haven't used until this week. Behind those words is a mountain of evidence. 488 public tips, 54 interviews, countless hours of video surveillance, phone records, and polygraphs. According to insiders, it all started to shift when one timeline didn't match a GPS ping. A phone that was supposed to be left inside the house wasn't. A deleted text reappeared in backup data. A witness recanted. Another came forward. Then came the financial trail. GoFundMe withdrawals. Changed names on donation accounts. A pattern of silence, followed by sudden online disappearances. This isn't just a missing persons case anymore. It's a forensic puzzle, built from broken statements, digital footprints, and the quiet gaps where truth should have been. One lead points back to the house. Another, to a brief window of time where no one seemed to know where Daniel was. And another, to a private message that suggested someone knew more than they let on. Police haven't made arrests yet, but the tone has changed. The search area has changed. And for the first time since May 2nd, the RCMP isn't just looking, they're closing in, because someone knows. And that someone may have finally left a trail. Lilly is still 6. Jack is still 4. But this story may no longer be stuck in silence. Justice doesn't forget. And now, justice is moving. For nearly a month, the investigation into Lilly and Jack Sullivan's disappearance had gone eerily quiet. No new tips, no new evidence, just a haunting absence that stretched over Nova Scotia like a shadow. But that silence broke when RCMP quietly returned to a wooded area near Cold Lake, terrain they had already combed weeks earlier. It wasn't routine. It wasn't protocol. It was intentional. Privately, law enforcement have been analyzing metadata, coordinates, timestamps, phone pings, and activity logs from devices seized earlier in the investigation. Then it happened. A single delayed data point came back. A digital ping, possibly from a smartwatch or location-enabled phone, registered movement in that same area after Lilly and Jack had been reported missing. And the location? It lined up nearly exactly with where the pink blanket was found. That changed everything. This time, the search wasn't broad. It was focused, not just on recovery, but on reconstruction. Who went there? Why? And more importantly, what did they leave behind? According to law enforcement sources, there were inconsistencies in multiple statements about movements on May 2nd and the days that followed. Devices didn't match alibis. A car logged miles that weren't mentioned. Surveillance cameras spotted someone driving near Cold Lake long after the community searches had stopped. Investigators now believe the blanket wasn't left during the initial disappearance. It was placed afterward, as a message, a mistake, or maybe even a distraction. This new phase isn't about hoping to stumble upon something. It's a psychological map of behavior, tracking not just where someone was, but why they were there and what they may have wanted to hide. Because sometimes people don't return to the scene out of guilt. Sometimes they return to erase it. And whoever went back into those woods may have led police directly to the next piece of the truth. Lilly and Jack were last seen on May 2nd, 2025. That morning, a call to 911 triggered one of the largest search efforts Nova Scotia had seen in years. RCMP, firefighters, K-9 units, drones, and community volunteers flooded the forest behind the Sullivan home. Every inch of ground was combed. Every trail, every creek bed, every clearing. By May 5th, despite 72 hours of nonstop effort, nothing. No scent trail. No torn fabric. No shoes. Just 2 small children who had vanished without a trace. Then came the pink blanket. Not during the first few days. Not even the first week. It appeared nearly 3 weeks later, folded neatly in a clearing that had already been searched repeatedly, a place familiar to many of the local volunteers who'd walked that route dozens of times. It wasn't there before. They were sure of it. The blanket changed the tone of the investigation. What looked like a tragic case of lost children now seemed more deliberate, more staged. RCMP investigators took forensic samples, fibers, soil, nearby vegetation. Then they started cross-referencing search logs, GPS data, phone records. What they found didn't sit right. Devices from certain individuals pinged near the area after the initial searches ended. A vehicle caught on a private game cam passed by late one night, matching the timeline. Witnesses recalled seeing someone walking alone through the woods days after RCMP had pulled out. Now, RCMP believed the blanket wasn't left by the children. It was placed intentionally. A breadcrumb, a misdirection, or worse, someone sending a message. And whoever left it may have made their first mistake. RCMP re-interviewed over 50 individuals, including Daniel Martel, the children's stepfather, and several members of Malikia's inner circle. This wasn't routine. It was targeted. The tone had changed. Quiet cooperation turned to pointed questioning. According to leaked internal documents, multiple alibis began to crack. Statements given may no longer match digital data. Some people contradicted their own earlier accounts. One source alleges a person close to Malikia was spotted near the old wooden bridge, just days before the pink blanket appeared in that exact area. That location had already been cleared by search teams weeks earlier. The implication? Someone returned. Someone brought something. And it gets deeper. At least one individual failed a polygraph test. Another flat out refused to surrender their phone, despite a warrant. There are whispers that recovered GPS metadata and deleted text fragments may finally place someone at the scene after the kids vanished. This is no longer about getting people to talk. It's about finding out who's still lying. Now, the RCMP isn't officially announcing charges, but insiders are calling this phase a final push. After 3 months of agony, dead ends, and public pressure, investigators believe they've finally narrowed it down. A specific time frame, a targeted location, and a core group of individuals who, based on newly surfaced digital evidence, may have been involved, either directly or by covering it up. It's no longer speculation. They've locked in movements down to the hour. They reconstructed timelines using recovered GPS data, message metadata, and sync surveillance from rural gas stations, cell towers, even traffic cameras miles away from home. According to leaked information, some of these people were nowhere near where they said they were. One individual's phone disconnected for a 3-hour stretch, reconnecting only after surveillance caught them heading back toward Cold Lake.
No footsteps on the
Another
wooden
refused
floors.
to hand over their device
Just
at all.
silence.
Then there's the bridge.
Then he noticed the boots.
The old wooded bridge.
2 tiny
Quiet,
pairs,
forgotten,
one blue,
surrounded
one
by
pink,
thick brush,
lined up neatly
a
by the
place
sliding
already
back door.
searched, until
The
someone
latch
took them off.
unlocked.
RCMP
The door
now
slightly
believe that
ajar.
after the children disappeared,
Lilly and Jack
someone
were gone.
close to the family returned to that
Daniel
area.
told police he
Not to
believed the
search,
kids slipped out
but to
early that
leave something
morning,
behind.
maybe to go play.
The pink blanket was
But
found
that theory
there,
raised more
oddly
questions
folded,
than it answered.
clean despite recent
They were just
rain,
6 and 4
in a
years
clearing that
old,
had already been
and
walked
bitter
over
spring
multiple
winds.
times.
Not a place
Investigators are now
children could
confident
wander far or
it was
survive
planted,
long.
a diversion,
By midday,
a message,
police issued a vulnerable
or maybe
persons alert.
a breadcrumb
The
trail
search spread across 3
meant to shift
counties,
the story away
Pictou,
from a house.
Antigonish, and
Forensics
Colchester.
teams reran tests
Helicopters
on fabric.
circled.
A second soil
K-9
analysis
units deployed.
suggests the blanket was never exposed
Search and
to
rescue
elements
crews
like
swept
the
every
surrounding
trail,
debris.
ravine,
And
and
new
logging
scent
road.
tracking has led dogs not
Over
away from the
160
bridge,
trained
but back
professionals joined
toward
the
family's
effort.
home. The
Drones
implication?
with thermal imaging
Lilly and
scanned the
Jack
treetops.
may have never wandered
Searchers
off
were
into the
told
woods
to
at
look
all.
for anything.
They may
Is
have
it
been
grief
moved
speaking?
there. And now,
Or guilt? And
RCMP
Malikia.
believes someone
How does a
helped make
mother
that
go
happen.
silent?
Someone who lied.
What changed her mind when
Someone
she
who
was
kept
hours
quiet.
from leaving him?
Someone who,
There are
in
reports
trying
that
to
Lilly
erase the
flinched
truth,
at raised hands.
may have exposed it. They're
That
not
Jack
naming
once said,
names yet,
"We're in trouble,"
but
when he saw
quietly
Daniel
in the
coming.
background, warrants are
Innocent
being
childhood
prepared.
fear.
Devices are being
Or signs
cloned,
of something long
and
buried.
witnesses, some
Why
of whom
haven't
stayed
charges
silent
been
for
laid?
months, are
Is
finally
the
starting
evidence
to
too
talk.
thin, or the truth
Whatever
too
happened
dark to face?
on May 2nd didn't happen
Was this
in the
tragedy
forest.
born of one
It happened
man's
before
cruelty,
the police were called.
one
And the
woman's
final
fear,
pieces may already be
a
in their
system's
hands.
failure,
This isn't just
or
about
all
a pink
three?
blanket. Not
Somewhere
anymore.
left his children
It's about a
unprotected.
story that was broken from
Grief
the
gave
beginning.
way to
A
rage.
version of events so fragile
gave
that every
way to
time
guilt.
someone spoke,
And still,
cracks widen.
no sign of Lilly.
It's about a 4-year-old
No
and a
trace of
6-year-old
Jack.
who vanished without a sound.
Meanwhile,
And
Daniel
the people
Martel's
closest
grief
to
grew
them
darker.
suddenly had nothing to say.
Online, he was
3
a
months
target.
have passed since Lilly
People
and Jack
posted his
Sullivan were
address,
reported missing.
called
3
him a
months of
murderer,
community searches,
accused
interviews,
him of hiding
drone
their
sweeps,
bodies.
vigils, and online
He
debates.
responded with long,
But
tearful
behind the
videos,
scenes,
insisting he
something
was
else has been
innocent,
happening.
that he loved those
Quietly,
kids, that he was suffering
carefully,
too.
relentlessly.
But with every new post
RCMP
came new doubt.
has been reworking the entire case
Every
from
time
inside
Olivia
out,
appeared in
not
public,
just re-interviewing
someone asked why she
witnesses,
wasn't crying,
but cross-referencing
why
every
she wasn't
word,
screaming,
every timestamp,
why she
every
wasn't
digital
begging,
footprint, not
flashing
just tracking
warnings
calls
that were
and
missed or
devices,
ignored.
but comparing deleted messages
In Lilly
to
and
known
Jack's case,
timelines.
records suggest
They're not
Child
working on
Protective
guessing
Services had
anymore.
already
They're
intervened.
working with patterns,
There were
with
reports.
forensic markers,
There were
with
concerns.
data that doesn't lie, even
was
when
it
people
enough?
do. The pink
Was anything
blanket,
done to
once a
stop
symbol
what
of
might
hope,
have been coming?
has now become something
Allegations
darker.
swirl that
It wasn't
Malika
just
resisted
found.
help,
It was placed,
that she pulled back
folded,
when family
set in a
urged her to
spot
leave,
that had already been cleared.
that at one point,
And now,
moving trucks were arranged to
RCMP
escape
believes
Daniel,
it was
but
meant
she
to be
stayed.
found as a
What
distraction,
leads a mother to
as a
silence?
message, as a way to
Fear.
buy time. Why
Trauma.
would someone do that?
Loyalty.
Because the truth was never in
Or
the
something
woods.
else.
The truth,
And then
it
there's the
seems,
rural setting,
may have
tight-knit,
always been
but
back
too
at the
quiet.
house. In what
Where
wasn't
neighbors-
said, in what wasn't done. A source close to the investigation confirmed that more than one person's story has changed. Subtly at first, then
Truth is
drastically.
waiting.
One individual
And until we
failed to
find it.
polygraph. Another refused
These
to surrender
questions
their
will
phone.
haunt every empty
Someone
forest
was
trail,
seen near the bridge
every unturned
after the
leaf,
initial
every
search
hollow
was
home.
over. And that
It's
bridge,
now been over 3
that's
months.
where the blanket was found.
Lily is
This
6.
isn't just about missing children
Jack is
anymore.
4.
It's about obstruction.
And they are still missing.
It's about betrayal.
No
It's
footprints
about a
in the
small
mud.
group of people,
No
some
new
families,
leads.
who may have
Just
hidden something
heartbreak
for
and
nearly
a family
90
unraveling
days.
in front of us.
RCMP hasn't
But
announced
someone,
charges
somewhere,
yet, but
knows
internally,
something.
officers are
If
calling
that person
this
is you,
the final
or someone
push.
you know, call
They
the
have a time
RCMP.
frame, a location,
Contact Crime
a circle
Stoppers.
of individuals who are now
Send the
under more
tip,
scrutiny
no matter
than
how
ever
small.
before. And if what's
Even the
rumored is
smallest
true,
detail could bring
then
2
someone
children
in that
home
circle
or
knows
bring justice to light.
exactly what happened to Lilly
Share
and
this
Jack.
video.
This case,
Not for
once
views,
believed to
but
be a
for
tragic
visibility.
accident, is
Comment
now
your
looking
thoughts
more like
below.
a chain of calculated decisions.
Do you believe Daniel Martel
Decisions
is
made to
grieving
protect
or
someone,
guilty?
to hide something,
Was this neglect,
to shift the
abuse,
story just
or an
long
accident
enough for the
no one
truth
wants
to
to
be buried?
admit?
But the truth
And above
has a
all,
way of
don't
clawing
let this
its way
case
out.
fade.
And with each day
Don't
that
let
passes,
Lilly and Jack become
cracks
just names
widen,
on a poster.
the silence gets heavier.
We owe them that
and
much.
the chances of escaping
Subscribe
justice
for
grow
updates.
smaller. Because this is
Follow
no
the
longer
story.
just a missing person's
Because
case.
silence helps no
It's a
one,
criminal
and justice can't
investigation.
wait.
And the people who once thought they got away with it, they're running out of time.